Hello, 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 everyone. It is Tina Wolf with bookwithtina.com. We are going to be interviewing Goddess, and her name is Goddessina. And we're going to be interviewing her. She is a coach and also spiritive, intuitive, as well as many, many other things. So hopefully, you guys will get to enjoy this brief interview that we have. So let me send out a couple of invitations and then get her added on here so we can get started. So I hope you guys are having an awesome and amazing day. I actually, if you are interested in being interviewed, please contact me because I like to speak with you first, ask a couple questions just so I can kind of get some background, the direction that the interview is going to go. And then I also like to take the time to be able to, put your picture up and let people know that we're going to be going live just a little bit ahead of time. Hold on one second. Let me send out a couple more. Couple more. All right. And here we go. And let me get her on here. Let me get Goddessina on here. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, I misplaced my reading glasses. Hey, Queen Rakaya. Hello, Lanice. Hello, Demond. There she is. Adding her right now. I'm going to set my timer. Hey. What she
Hey,
said, ma'am.
can you see?
Hello, beautiful goddess. How are you? How are you?
I'm great. I
Yay.
am really great.
Yeah. So today, you guys, we have Miss Goddess on here. So can you please start off by just telling the people your name and what your business is and how they can contact you before we get started?
Okay, so I am Goddessina. I am an intuitive reader. I'm an intuitive psychic medium. I'm also a life coach. So I do several things. I speak to the dead. I speak to the living. I speak to angels, ancestors. I speak to every type of being there is. I'm a psychic medium. I basically kind of can tell you a lot about your life. I can give you your business. I'm also a life coach. I specialize in mindset work. For me, mindset is such a powerful tool and a foundation. I'm all about foundations. Like, people like to jump into shit and not really learn the foundation. So I'm all about setting a foundation to reset your mind so that you can have success. And then
Absolutely.
I sell t-shirts. I also sell
Hey,
t-shirts too. So
what do your t-shirts have on them?
most of it is spiritual stuff. I also do custom t-shirts, but most of them have like spiritual stuff. You can actually go onto my personal page. My business is called Cosmic Goddess Lifestyle. So you can go onto my page and you can look through all my shit that I have there. I have my prices, all the things that I offer, and my t-shirts are there as well.
Awesome. So we are going to jump right into this. First question that I usually ask my guests is, what did you want to be when you were a little girl?
I wanted to be Michael Jackson's girlfriend. That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be married to Michael Jackson.
And then
That's what
most
I
of the
wanted.
women in the world.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I knew that I wanted to be Michael Jackson's girlfriend. And then if I couldn't do that, I was going to be a housewife. Like, that's all I grew up seeing. Like, all the women in my family were taken care of. So I need a rich husband. That's what I need,
Me
a rich
too.
husband.
Me too. Me too. Because that was my dream too. I was like, I want to be a housewife. That's what I want to be, a housewife, and I want to own my own business and be a housewife. But I want to work from home so I can be available to my husband. So I absolutely get that. I absolutely get that. Okay. And so with most of us, especially the intuitives, a lot of the times we are brought up in certain religious beliefs And sometimes different religions and aspects. And so I always ask people this question, which is, like, what religious background did you grow up in, and what is your belief system now and your definition of God?
Okay, so I grew up Christian, like holiness, Pentecostal, Holy Ghost speaking, church shouting Christian. My grandfather was a minister, grandmother was an evangelist. Everybody, my mother is a minister, father minister. I grew up like Church of God in Christ and Pentecostal, and we were literally in church 7 days a week from Sunday to Sunday. So Christianity was heavy, heavy, heavy in my family, but also voodoo and spiritualism, all that shit was also heavy because it actually went hand in hand. One light, they would do it in the light of, oh, we're Christians, and then in the dark, I had to pick up on things that I like. They couldn't say it out in public, but I picked up on some things that were like, oh shit, this is what they're talking about. The superstitions, the burn your hair, the sweeping of the feet, the tickling of the baby's feet. Like there's a humongous range of spiritual things that I learned as a child. My mother kept a bowl of rice at the front door when we come in, and she would drop money in it, and we would always have a flow of money, not realizing that all this had to do with
what kind of rice do I need? Can it be plain rice, jasmine rice, white rice?
Yeah, it was. I grew up seeing a lot of stuff. My mother had a best friend who was like super into spirituality, and a lot of things I learned from her and my mother, and I use them to this day, and they work fucking awesome. They really do. My belief in God is, I still believe in God. Like that hasn't changed. My relationship has changed. That's the difference between me coming from spirituality to religion. It was in religion, I had this relationship that I didn't have enough power. I didn't have enough energy. I didn't have enough knowledge and wisdom to be able to talk to the creator, because he was this God that was run by ministers and priests, and they were the only ones who had access to it. And in spirituality, I have a direct connection with the Most High. Like I get up every morning and talk to him. And it's not one of those, thou art this, thou art that. I mean, God is funny as shit. And he talks to me in a language that I understand. And it's unbelievable how, oh my God, like the relationship is what I have now. Like I believe in God, but my relationship has changed. It has increased. You can't see spirits and not believe in God. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. I can't comprehend it. Like I see the dead, I see angels, I see demons, I see extraterrestrials, and all of them have mention of the creator. So if they're talking about the creator, if they're talking about God, why would I not have a relationship with someone who is a God? Like that is ultimately, he is the God of gods. There are other gods, but he is definitely the God of gods. So my relationship now in spirituality has changed with him. It's more intimate than it was before. Before it was pressured of hell. When I removed the pressure of going to hell and decided, you know what, my father doesn't see any fault in me, and he has mercy. He's more like, I treated him like if I said something wrong or did something wrong, I was going straight to hell. So I wouldn't really spend time with him, because out of the fear of going to hell, because that's what church teaches us. Hell, 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 hell. You're going to go to hell if you do this. You're going to go to hell if you do that. And my relationship, it changed completely. I heard God tell me to get into voodoo and hoodoo. And for me, I was like, this ain't God. This ain't God. He's telling me to go get into hoodoo, witchcraft. And in that, I learned a lot about it. And I know people are like, God wouldn't tell you that. But God had to tell me, I have mercy for who I have mercy for. Who are you to tell me what the mind of me is? I will tell you what you do and tell you how to do it. And you're going to get an understanding of it. And I did. I went through all of that to learn lessons. And when I came out of it, I realized who I was at the end of it all. Like, I am God and God is me. And I say this all the fucking time. I am God and God is me. And I understand why Jesus practiced saying that you were God's too. Like, there's several scriptures that say you are God too. I am God. I am my Father. Nobody gets to my Father but the way of by me. If he's telling you can't nobody get to God by the way of by me, that's you. That's you. You are God. God is you. So my relationship is more intimate than it was religious. So.
Got you. Ooh, that was fire. I'm just gonna give me a minute. I'm gonna marinate on that for just a hot second. Give me a minute. Like, and we're a little deep there. You can tell that you really took time. And for me, what I'm feeling is you really took that time to get to know who God is and represented to you. I have this thing that is set up for myself, and most people don't agree with it. Some people don't understand, but I'm like, I feel like sometimes I have to experience something and go through it in order for me to understand it, so that I can use it as a tool to teach others. If I would not have had some experiences, I would not be able to connect with those people. So when you're saying, I felt like God was like saying, I need to do this and have that experience, I'm in agreement with you, because there's sometimes I do things, and I even say it in my readings. I may not understand, but I still go through with it, So sometimes you don't, just like I go through the drive-through, and one time it was like, you need ask them for some extra forks. I'm like, it's just me. Why do I need extra forks? I don't need no extra forks. But I asked for it anyway. And later on, guess what? I got a couple of meals, fast food in line, drove. They ain't put no fork. They put no fork. It's just a little small, tiny thing. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
So briefly, for those that don't know, because I know there's this, this huge thing where TV has taught us that voodoo and hoodoo is scary, it's black, it's dark, it's demons, it can kill you, it's drinking blood, eating, sacrificing people,
sacrificing babies.
So can you please kind of give us your knowledge and wisdom on the topic, on like what voodoo and hoodoo is, and what's the difference between the two?
Okay, so for me, I've learned, because I've studied a lot of them. One of them worships the Loa, and the other one is the Yoruba. But they're both the same, though. Like, if you pay attention, just like all religions have relations to each other, they really do. When I got into like witchcraft and hoodoo, voodoo, I learned that it had nothing to do with devil worship. Like, it was more Catholicism than anything. The worshiping of the angels, the worshiping of God, the cleansing. Like, I have never seen so many people go 110% about healing themselves than I had. Like, I didn't see that shit in the church. I see them go to the altar, holla, hoop holla, and then go live a life. But in this life, like, they're for real about this shit. This is a daily undoing the mind, shadow work, healing, cleansing, clearing your space, getting rid of negativity, using the spirits that are around you, having a connection with your ancestors, developing a closer relationship to the Most High. Like, I have never in my life had seen so much true worship, like what it is supposed to be, than I have seen in anything. There are, of course, people who devil worship, and most of those are Luciferians. But in witchcraft and in hoodoo and voodoo, it is all about the connection with yourself, bringing out your power, your divine power, bringing out your ancestors to assist you and guide you, connections with the angels, connections with the Loas, because us as Black people, we weren't taught about the Black gods. When we got here to the Western world, we were not taught about the Black gods. And because of that, there was a disconnect. And we go through so much stuff because we got a lot of fucking help. I tell people all the time, we have dominion and power. Here, us humans, we have dominion and power over everything. And there are spirits that are designed to help and assist us. And if we don't know who the fuck they are, how the hell can we ask them for help?
That part.
Because they understand our will and they can't interfere with our will. So we have to, with our will, ask them for assistance and guidance. So for us, it's about learning who is our helpers, because we like to think that, oh, we pray to an angel, and there's so many other beings and species and ancestors that assist us.
And on that, I'm gonna touch on that. Shameless plug, not shameless plug. You have a series of groups that you sent, and you like, I'm doing too much, and I'm like, no, you ain't doing too much. You're doing absolutely what you're supposed to, because and I'm gonna shout out these groups, and then I'm gonna ask you a question, because you kind of have a couple of groups that are universal and welcome to everybody. And one of that group is the Cosmic Goddess Lifestyle. And then you also have the Universal God and Goddesses Raising Vibrations. And then we're going to get into you. And it makes sense hearing what you're saying, but I kind of want you to elaborate just a little bit on that. Because I got more stuff I want to ask you, so I don't want us to get stuck. But then you have two other groups that are focused on Black, and you say Black Goddesses Raising Vibrations, and then you also have Black Gods and Goddesses Raising Vibrations. So what, I mean, I know, you know, spiritually you're opening to helping everyone and you're not limited, but I can tell you have this passion and this love to help the Black community. So, you know, why did you decide to create the Black Goddesses Raising Vibrations and Black Gods and Goddesses Raising Vibrations, specifically for Black?
So the first group I started it, to me, it was by accident. It was divine, but it was by accident. So I make t-shirts. I love to craft. And in the beginning of my journey, because I've always had this journey, but I wasn't serious about it till the last, 5 years or so. But in the beginning, I do crafts. So I was a part of this craft groups, and someone had posted something about crystals. I love crystals. I really love crystals. And people were asking about a group. I didn't know the technical name of metaphysics. And at the time, I was staying away from anything witchcraft or anything associated with that. So I always knew, because of what I was taught, you're God. No matter what anybody tells you, you're a God. You're a child. If your God is a God and you're a child of your God, then you're a God. So I've always had that belief. So because of that, I decided, you know what, I don't know anything else about whatever, but here it is. A bunch of people are asking in this craft groups about anybody else who loves crystals and sage and other stuff. And I didn't know it was called metaphysics at the time. And I didn't want to go the way of witchcraft because I was still dealing with Christianity. So I decided to create this group because other groups that I tried to look for, white people do it differently than we do it. For me, it was all about relating. Like, I have nothing against white people because I got a bunch of white folks and Mexicans within my family. So I have absolutely none. But I know that when it comes to Black people, we are so wrapped around around religion that it's hard to separate our actual spiritual life that we're supposed to be living. And for me, it was like, okay, let me create a safe group for people to come to and talk about spirituality and not religion. Talk about the practices and the rituals and things that they do to help them elevate themselves. So the first group I had was about women because of me. I was in a relationship with a narcissistic man, not a relationship, I was in a marriage with a narcissistic man. And for me, learning I was an empath was part of my journey as to why I attracted this narcissistic man. And here I am getting into different things like crystals and holistic and spiritual things. So starting for me was having someone that could relate to me, having someone who can, hey, look, I'm going, are you going through this too? And let's help each other elevate each other, because I've never been someone who's in competition. I don't like competition. Look, let's get together, let's create this support group, because it's enough for us to go around, and let's help each other grow. So let's raise our vibration, because I knew about the laws of attraction. So let's use the laws of attraction, raise our vibration, and grow from there. So it started off with just women. And as I grew in my journey, spirit was like, my ancestors, when I gained a relationship with my ancestors, like, all right, now it's time for you to grow. Now it's time for you to address the masculine, because the masculine and feminine is necessary. Like, you cannot be all feminine. Like, there has to be a masculine energy somewhere. So my spirits are like, all right, now you need a male and female group for us to have a safe place for us without the judgment, because we do, despite what a lot of people think, hoodoo and voodoo does come from Africa. Although the name is different, but the hoodoo and the loas and the orishas and the ifas, all those come from Africa. And truthfully, a lot of those gods that are from Africa have issues with people with other colors. Like, they won't work with you. So having to teach people, hey, look, this is your roots. This is where you come from. This is how you're going to learn who you are, because you need to know who you are, who you were, in order to know what path to take. Because you can't just look at the path and say, okay, this is the path that I'm going to go. Okay, where's your starting point? So that you can get a clear direction of where you need to go. So this is the reason why I created those groups, because I knew that a lot of us here, because of slavery, because we were told we had to worship a God that wasn't ours, we had to do certain things in order to survive. It's going to take someone to come in and say, hey, look, this is where our roots are. We got a lot of shit to unlearn. We got a lot of shit to heal from. And this is our space for us. This is what I'm doing, because a lot of us here, a lot of Black Americans here, minds are messed up. Are seriously messed up. I grew up around a lot of military people, traveled a lot, and from different areas, having to have the wisdom and understanding of people are different, and in different areas they're different. The minds of them are different. So creating a space for people to unlearn and relearn was something that I felt like I needed to do, because there was really no one that I could think of that was offering that space.
That's awesome. I don't have my reading glasses on, so can you help a sister out real quick?
Okay, so let's see.
From R.A. Sheeds, I can't see. Can you read
R.A. Sheeds? It says God isn't a man or woman, because men and women is a physical thing, not spiritual. There's no gender. See, okay, so. And for me, what I know, because I talk to spirits all the fucking time. I talk to the Most High all the time. For me, God is a man. There is a goddess. There's a goddess and there's a God. For me, God is a man. There's a woman. He created us in his image. I don't like that people like to take that away, that God is not man or female. No, God is a gender. There's the law of gender for a reason. He created man and woman for a reason. There's like, why would he create something that is not of himself? If we're in his image, why would he create a man in his image that is not gendered towards us? A lot of people, because of, if you study your history, before Alexander decided to lottery out which religion he was going to use to control the world, there was a goddess, and we call her the Holy Spirit. And for me, I know the Ruach. I know that she's a woman. If you read Proverbs 8, because I still keep the Bible, I haven't like torn away from that. There's a lot of my understanding of it is different than what it was. And for me, God is a man and the Holy Spirit is a woman. And then there are children more than Jesus Christ. He has more children, the celestial children, than just Jesus Christ. And for me, I believe in masculine and feminine energy. I don't like to take away, oh, it's neither this or neither that. No, it is a man and it's a woman. Just like I got a coochie, no matter what I decide to augment, no matter what I decide to change about it, no matter what type of surgery I do, my DNA is always going to say woman. I don't care what type of blood you add to it. My DNA is always going to say woman, no matter what you do. As the same as my son. If son was born a boy, if he decides to become a woman, then that's a physical change. That is not a genetic change. This is why genetically we have either or. We're either going to be a boy or we're going to be a girl. And if you are born both, and that's because there's something that went wrong, because there's a lot of shit that goes wrong genetically. But
Yeah.
there's always the law of masculine and feminine. So I don't like to take that shit away. For you, if you believe that God is not a man or woman, that is your belief. I will never, ever push my belief on someone else. But for me, God is a man and there's a goddess. So
Yeah.
I know the difference between the two, a God and a goddess, and they both operate as one.
Okay.
And that's how he designed us, to operate as one.
Okay. Can you finish reading it for me? Let's see what else he had to say, because this lit a fire under your ass. So,
he wrote a book.
Girl, it's okay. Just read
he wrote a whole book.
Because this is helping lots of people, and it's helping you get, you know what I'm saying? Go
ahead. He says you have two energies out there, which is masculine and feminine. But the further you get into your studies, you see and know that everything is feminine. Even masculine is an aggressive form of feminine, but at the end of the day, it's all feminine. This is why when you look at the Bible, there's only a few women chapters compared to how many men chapters names. In spiritual walk, you will find out that the earth as well as the universe is feminine too.
Okay. So, you know what? And I'm going to say this because somebody said this to me and I laughed. And this is in reference to being single and dating. And and it was said to me, you know, you're aggressive. Like you kind of aggressive. And my thought process was, if I see something I like, I don't see anything wrong with approaching. And they're like, well, men are hunters. And I'm like, well, women are hunters too. Shit. I mean, it doesn't take away from my femininity that, you know, that, I mean, to me, being feminine doesn't mean I'm this docile little thing, delicate thing that can't do anything on her own. That's not what's represented. To me, being feminine represents being able to be vulnerable, being able to be loved, being able to, you know, have those, you know, emotions, and balancing out that the masculine energy, balancing that out to be able to have the strength, the courage to be able to stand up for yourself, create boundaries and things of that nature. So, you know, when they're, you know, when he was making that comment, I can relate because I've been told that I'm like, I don't think it, to me, it's not aggressive, but I think it's just me being me, you know? There's
and for a lot of people, some people get like, when it comes to submission, because they expect women to be submissive and they mix submission with subjugation. And they expect a woman who is submissive to be subjugation. And those are two different things because of the way culture has taught us. We have lived under a culture for a very long period of time where women were docile, women couldn't speak up, women couldn't do anything. So submitting is to them is subjugation. And those two are two different things. Like if you want a woman to be subjugated to you, you're looking for a slave. And me as a woman, my feminine energy is to bring the creative energy to you. Your masculine energy is about logic. My feminine energy is about creativity. So even if that creativity is forceful, it is all to help you, not to put me in a position to where I'm subjugated to do as you say when you say. And people don't know how to separate the two because they have issues articulating their thoughts. It's something that society has placed on people, that a woman should not be aggressive because aggression is a sign that she's not going to submit to me. And if she doesn't submit to me, it's going to cause her to not be subjugated under me.
Right. Y'all, this reading glasses thing when you 47 is real. I'm like, I'm trying to read. Okay, can you just see whoever let it, is that, I can't even see it, Lanice, comment for me, and then I'm gonna ask you a question so we can get to wrapping this up. Go
Okay,
ahead.
she says, yes, I agree with that. As God has seen that we are badasses and create our own reality.
Absolutely. We are all powerful creators. Okay, so now
Mhm.
you and I talked about a couple of our divination tools, and we absolutely agreed that just being in your, like, you don't have to have, this toilet paper to help you. Just it was in
Right.
my suitcase. Don't worry about where it came from. And then, we don't have to have we don't have to have no cards. We ain't got to have no stones. We don't have to have any of those
Right.
things. However, it is nice to sometimes use some tools that can help you. And sometimes using tools, to me, sometimes using tools are just a way to help people to relate for their culture. Like a lot of people, they see
Mhm.
cards and they're like, "Oh, you do cards?
Right.
Cards is something that I'm open to, and it helps
Right.
them. And some people are like, oh, you do crystals, oh, you do color therapy work, like you,
Right.
oh. So the tools, don't think that I got to have the tools. They are useful, but
Right. Mhm.
we are the tool. As I'm trying to remember who I interviewed. I can't remember her name, God forgive me. But she said we are the tool, and then we also have these other
Right.
tools that we use. So some of the tools you
Mhm.
use for divination, and for those that don't know what divination is, can you give like just a
Mhm.
brief definition of what divination is, and share some of the unique tools that you use?
Okay, so divination is basically a form of finding out information spiritually. The things that are unseen, you use it to become using a tool to manifest a tangible answer. When it comes to spiritual, it's something that's downloaded into you. Like for me, I've been seeing spirits since I was a child. I've been seeing demons. Like my initial realization, I'm pretty sure that they were good spirits that were around me, but my initiation into seeing spirits were demonic and extraterrestrial. So for me, it took me calming my ass down to really see that I had other divine help around me. But for me, I've always been intuitive. I didn't say anything because of religion, because religion said if you say something, you're going to go to hell.
Right,
So here I
or they're
am,
gonna
my
try to
entire
exercise you.
right, because they would do that in church, have you in front of everybody and pray for you and
It's
shit.
happened to
And
me.
here they are
Yeah.
locking your gifts up, trying to pray over you. So for me, I grew up with family members who were very, very prophetic. They call it prophetic. And here I am being told, when you get older, you're going to be a prophet. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And not knowing that it had something to do with, I was dreaming shit about shit before it happened. I was seeing people die before they happened. I was seeing things that were outside of this universe. I was knowing information before I even knew it. Like I would say something and the shit would happen. So for me, divination is something that I don't need. For me, I had to grow my gift because I let it be so dormant for so long. I had to go through a process of growing my gift. It's always been there, but I had to grow my gift to where I am confident in it, to where I don't need these tools. These tools, I use cards, I use mirrors, I use water, I use crystal balls, I use rocks, I use bones, I use smoke, I use fire. What else do I use? There's some other shit that I use.
The
There's a lot of other
fire
stuff
one
that
was
I
the
use.
one that got me. I said, fire? The
Yeah,
fire
you
and the mirrors. The mirrors was the other one
right,
that I was like, what?
right.
What? Like, what you do with fire? What you do with mirrors?
So let
Like,
me hold on. Let me show you my mirror. Let me see if I can get it to. Oh, I use oh shit. So I use mirrors. If you can see, it's a mirror. It's a mirror that I have myself,
mhm.
and so I use a mirror, and basically, I study a lot of dark magic, what people consider dark magic, because for me, dark and light go hand in hand. Like it's necessary. I had to get rid of my thought patterns of what is good and what is bad, because for me, I had to learn that it is all necessary. it's all about your intent. It's all about your intentions and what you have intentions for. So for me, when it comes to like getting into certain divinations, it was a let me discover all of these things so I can figure out what's a great fit for me. I can do all of this stuff, but I learned that a lot of it that I do is because people like to have tangible information. Because if I sit here and tell you certain things about your relationship, you might not believe it, but people like to see with their eyes. Like they won't have faith in it unless they see with their eyes. So I had to use my cards as a commercialized way to bring in people and say, hey, look, I have this gift. I'm charging for my gift. And they're like, what's your proof? Ooh, boom, card. A card is something that's going to be connected to me energetically. And because it's connected to me energetically, you can see the picture of it and you can go look that shit up yourself and you'll get the same message that I did. So because of that, I use tools to make people feel comfortable because I don't really fucking need it. I also use it to harness energy because some people got a bunch of shit on them and I need an anchor. These tools serve as an anchor.
Way to say it. The tools are an anchor. That is an excellent, excellent way to say, because you're right, because the people will come up to you, and I know you've had this experience, especially when they find out what you do, and they like, "Ooh, what do you see?" I'm like, "A lot of shit. You want to narrow it down?" And they be like, "But I don't know where to start." And I'm like, "Okay, give me 3 colors." You telling me there's 3 colors when I don't have no cars around or nothing like that? It's like, so you're right. It does anchor and it brings it down so that we can see exactly and pinpoint exactly what. Girl,
it is.
Valentina. See, I'm learning. That's why I love having people on. If you want
everybody
to learn some more, come on. Okay. So,
so I tell everybody that gets a reading with me, have a cup of water. Because I'm an empath, and because I'm an empath, I literally feel emotions. I feel pain. I experience whatever I'm seeing. I experience it and I feel it. So water for me is, look, get you a cup of water to lessen the effect because I need that anchor. Because if I don't get it, I'm gonna be fucking boohooing on this phone, or I'm gonna get angry, or I'm gonna be sad, or whatever emotions that you have, or I'm gonna feel the fucking pain that you had. Like I had told you before, I had a woman who was pregnant. She was in labor, and I kept going, what is up with my back? What is up? And as time kept going, it kept getting closer and closer. And I'm like, are you in labor? And she's like, yeah, I'm in the hospital right now. And I'm like, oh God, no, what are you doing? I feel all of this. Like, you need to get up off the phone.
And you know what? And that's true, because I never when you first get started, especially when you're self-taught and you don't have anybody doing it with you, I would do readings and I'm like, you know what? I feel like I feel thirsty, but I'm gonna drink some of this water for you. You need to drink some water, but I'm gonna drink some for you for right now. And you know what? I'm finna eat this banana for you. I don't know why the hell I just did a reading the other day. I was like, I'm finna eat this banana for you. And he's like, bananas? I'm like, you like bananas? You got a thing for bananas or something? Like, what's up with the bananas? You know, and so he's doing the meditation. And why I said this meditation you're gonna do on your own. And I said, so while you doing that, I'm gonna go do some research. So I went and looked up banana because I ate something was telling me for him, because he's into, I guess, like Egyptian or something, you know, like that type of a thing. And so what I looked up and found out was that with bananas, if you eat a banana, it is believed in some cultures, if you eat a banana before you meditate or before you pray, it helps you to get in touch with, you know, spirit or your higher power. So it helps you with that connection. And so I guess I had to eat the banana for him because I didn't know to tell him, your ass need to eat a banana before we do this meditation. So I ate it and told him I was eating the banana for him and sending him that energy during the meditation. So that that empath part though.
Yeah, Right. A lot of people don't realize when you get a reading, it's an exchange of energy. People like to treat us like we're a normal business, but I tell people I'm an energy reader, and that doesn't mean that I get feelings and notions. No, it means I get physical effects. By the end of the call, or even before you call me, I got a headache or I'm tired. Shit starts happening before you even come to me. Shit starts happening during the time that we're talking, and even after. I get different effects because of we're exchanging an energy, because we decided to connect with each other on a spiritual level. Even before you even decided you wanted a reading from me, I got your shit before you even came to me.
That
even if it took you even if it took you 3 months to come to me, I got your shit 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And you either took too long to get here or something happened. But because that is the type of energy reader I am, I get all your shit before it comes. So for me, there's a physical thing that happens to my body. It happens to like my energy. There's a lot of shit that happens. There's an exchange that happens because I'm an empath, and an empath is a healer. And I tell everybody, if you're an empath, you're a sponge. You're a sponge that's supposed to allow that energy to flow through. You take people's shit in, you process it, and you regurgitate that shit out. And so that you can heal people the way you're supposed to.
And and I tell people that think that they're not an empath, because we're all empaths. Some of us just choose to grow our gifts and learn and relearn or relearn our gifts. And something that I told people, if you think you can't relate to me, here's how. I said, have you ever looked at your phone when somebody was calling and you were like, oh, right? Because you just immediately feel that energy, like I already know this motherfucker on the other end is gonna get on my freaking nerves. And they always bringing drama. They bring my vibration down, that's part of it. Like you ain't even answered the phone. You just seen their name.
Right.
You have that same ability when people ain't calling you. You could be minding your own business. Somebody pop in your head. You be like, oh, sister so-and-so. Oh, Lord, no, I don't want to deal with it. Or you know what? Maybe sister so-and-so need me. Let me contact her. Or if I can't contact her right now, let me go on and pray for her at this moment, because their energy, I call it energy pulling. That's just because to me, that's what it feels like. It feels like they're pulling on me saying, Tina, I need you. I need you. And I be like, some of these people, I'm like, I don't want to help you. I don't want, you know what? Peace and blessings. May you be well. Like, I don't have time for that. So with being an empath, having all these other skill sets, and now I'm I'm like looking at this time, and I'm like, okay. So the coach part. So having all this and seeing all this, people most definitely needed your guidance. So now you go into the coaching part. So what is it? Is there a specific area with the coaching that you do? Like, are you targeting, or how does that work?
All right. So I target mindset, and I help people unlearn, recognize their patterns of where the life is, especially for success. My coaching is designed to help people become more successful. And in order to do that, you gotta recognize what your bad habits are, the patterns that you have, and unlearn some shit and relearn. So setting a new mindset. I am all about mindset. Like, you cannot change without taking the action to change. You cannot change without letting go what you currently believe. So let me figure out, okay, what is your current belief system right now? Because you got to know what it is right now. I'm all about the subconscious, unconscious, and shadow work. All about shadow work. What is your belief system? What do you believe in love? What do you believe in money? What do you believe in family? What is your current belief system, so that we can address it, undo some shit, and give you some healthy ways of thinking? Because people like to, I'm trying. But what did you do to try? What are you doing? Do you even know what it is? I tell people, you got to think of your mind as a room that's in the dark. You know that there's shit inside of this bedroom, but when you turn that light off, you know it's there, but you can't see it. So it's not until you turn the light on it that you know exactly what it is. So you got to think about it like that. Is it going out? Not frozen? I keep saying it's frozen.
We can hear you though.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh man.
We
Okay.
can still hear you.
But yeah, so I'm all about addressing the subconscious, because you got to know what's in your subconscious mind. Because I know I do a lot of research. I am like a behavioral health, like that's my shit. Behavioral health. Because I am an empath, like I got to understand this shit. I am always trying to figure out. I'm very inquisitive. I always got to figure this shit out. So I do enough research to like, look, your mind, your mental state is what runs your personality. My vibration is all about being successful, being happy, having wealth, and not just finances, but in every area of my life. And in order to do that, for me, because I went through a traumatic experience with a narcissistic husband, my entire life has been like in shambles. And that relationship was the icing on the cake that said, you got to do something different. And in order to do something different, you got to do something with your mind, because you got some mental issues that you got to deal with. And I'm not saying I was retarded. I'm not saying that I was dumb. I'm saying that because of how I was raised, I developed a belief system that was toxic to the life that I desired consciously. And then I had to go subconsciously to realize, okay, what is it that you really want? Because I'm saying I want this, but my actions aren't doing it. So I had to address why my actions weren't aligning in with my mental state. Like, why are my what I want is not lining up? So I had to address my mental state. I had to tear and break a lot of shit down. And a lot of this stuff I learned in spirituality. I really learned it in spirituality because I couldn't find this shit in church. Because church was give all your problems to God, pray about it, get delivered about it. But it was no addressing the mental state of people that I noticed that, you know what? I've always been a helper. I've always wanted to help people. So why not find out this shit for me? Because I've had enough experience to be able to say, hey, look, this is what I've been through. I'm not an expert in it, but I've gotten through the shit. So let me give you this way to make sure that if this works for you, then it's going to work for you. But for me, the mental state of people was something I desired to change. This is why I'm so 1,001% on mindset. Like, change your mindset to change your entire life. That is my whole theme, is to change your mindset to change your entire life so that you can be successful in everything, not just money, but in everything, your relationships, everything.
Right. I think that everything that you're saying, like especially the experience with with the ex-husband, I also, and you and I talked about that, I had the same experience with the ex-husband, and it put me in such a place that I had no choice but to come out of it. And because I've had that experience, it allowed me, like you say, to share with others. I have a program, shameless plug. I have a program called Love Standards, in which I teach people about love, how to find love within their self, and how to be able to love others, and how to communicate effectively. And if I had not have gone through those experiences with these men in these relationships, right, I would not have been able to create this program. Now, do I know everything perfectly? No, I don't. But the things that I have learned is a stepping stone to help others. And I'm still growing. I'm still yesterday, I got to give a shout out to a young lady. Now, my friend Shanette, she's, you know how sometimes people will tell you something and they've been telling you. I have plenty of my friends have been telling you, but sometimes that fresh voice comes in and say something, you like, damn, did you have to say it like that? And my other friends be like, we've been telling you. But sometimes when people are inside your circle, you're so used to hearing. Sorry about that. Somebody tried to call. And or not hearing things, you don't hear that. And so yesterday I was, I'm so sick and tired of these men ghosting me. I want to know what's up with it. Like, the problem, like, why do they keep doing that? And I know I'm not the only one. You're
not the only one, because I just recently started dating, and I'm over dating. I'm over dating. Like, it's not what it is.
Yeah, and so
it's not what it is.
So last night I was like, fuck it. I'm going live. I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. I'm bringing my boo Shanette on, and we're going to do this healing session for the single people that are getting ghosted. We're going to get to what energy is within us that we need to change within
Mm-hmm.
us. That video long as hell. I made a shorter video that gave us the nugget. So I'm gonna give y'all the nugget. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all the nugget, and then Goddessina, please get ready because I'm gonna ask you your price ranges where you start, and then we're gonna wrap that up so I can make this next appointment. But what the nugget was is that in order to stop being ghosted, here's the reason why you're being ghosted. For one, you are not trusting yourself to make the right decisions for yourself. So divine intervention is taking place so that you won't have this unpleasant experience again, because you've been praying on it and you've been meditating on it saying, I don't want to have this unpleasant experience anymore. And so please help me. Please remove obstacles out of my way. And then you're asking for it and you're like, why this dude ain't calling me? Well, shit, you didn't pay attention to the red flag. And a lot of times I say, you know what? I don't want to use my energy to pry into that person. I want to allow them to give me the experience they want me to have. And because I'm trying to be open, I don't want to, because a lot of men, they ask me that, oh, so you reading me now? No, I'm not reading you because I want to see what you're going to give me. And then so because I kind of turn that off, and you know what I'm saying? I turn that part off because I want to be respectful of your space. You know, it's like God is saying, Spirit is saying, Tina, you think we gave you these gifts for nothing? You need to use that. You don't have to delve as deeply, but at least see what's superficially on the surface and trust yourself. When you feel that thing in your gut, Tina, because when it comes to me, if something's not right with men, I feel it in my gut. And so when I feel that in my gut, I'm supposed to pay attention to that. But I'm like, ooh, and I'm not talking about the butterflies, like the good kind. I'm talking about like punch me in
like
it,
something's off. Right.
Even though they smiling and they being all gracious. So the message yesterday was the reason why, Tina, you are being ghosted, and maybe for some other people, is because you're not trusting yourself to follow your intuitive decide to say that this person is not the one for me. And so we got to intervene because your ass hard-headed. Just like my girl, Montana. She was like, I'm finna get off this live bye because y'all hard-headed. And I laughed. And you know, and I sent her a message and I said, I just want to tell you, thank you so much for, you know, saying that. I said, I'm sorry that you was impatient because I wasn't getting it. Sometimes you got to break it down for me in order for me to understand. And I think that's where people like me and yourself Goddessina come in. That's where we come in, is to help you to break it down. When somebody's saying, let it go, you like, okay, that's one of my pet peeves is people say, let it go. Okay, you telling me to go, but you're not telling me how the hell to do it.
A solution. A solution. Right.
So with that solution comes a price. And so Goddessina, what are your prices on your on your divinations, on your life coaching, and then tell them how they can get in touch with you, but give them kind of a base price so they have an idea.
Okay, so for I have a 30-minute reading that consists of, you know, most of subjects, but for a 30-minute reading, it's 108. For an hour reading, it's 222. For me, that's not a lot. For me, that's way below what I should be charging. I do mediumship. If you want to call your loved ones who have passed, I do mediumship, and I started off at $400. I said start off. I didn't say it was $400. I said it starts off at $400 because sometimes it takes a minute to develop the energy. Like I charge according to my energy because spirit taxes me to use my gift because I'm going to have effects and symptoms and other shit that comes along with it. So I got to give the price according to what spirit gives me. So for a 30-minute reading, it's 108. For an hour reading, it's 222. If you want me to do 5 tarot card questions, it's $55. What else do? I have my coaching course that's 6 months for $1,000 for 6 months to reset your mindset. If you want me to coach you one-on-one, it's $1,500 for a year. What else? I think that's it. I think that's it. But
and then,
mainly,
and then what, like, you have a website, how do they get in touch with you?
So you can inbox me on my personal Facebook. I have Facebook, Instagram. My website will be up by this coming weekend. I am getting that together. But I have a page called Cosmic Goddess Lifestyle. If you go to Facebook, go to the search box, put in Cosmic Goddess Lifestyle, you will pull me up. And that is my business page. You can go to my business page and make an appointment, or you can just simply go to Goddess Cena, hit that messenger, and message me. I take everybody's messages almost.
Yeah.
Almost, except all.
Do you know your business name website? Because people that are going to watch this in the future,
it's going to be Cosmic. It's going to be Cosmic Goddess Lifestyle with Goddess Cena.
And
so,
is it going to be .com, .org, or?
It's going to be .org.
Okay.
It's going to be .org. I'm in the process. I paid for my domain name, so I'm setting up the website. So yes. But yes, I will have it posted very soon on my page coming this weekend. I have several groups that I have. I have Black Goddesses Raising Vibrations. I have Black Gods and Goddess Raising Vibrations. I have Universal Gods Raising Vibrations. And I have a new group that I just started yesterday for people who want to learn magic. I teach you like spells. I teach you rituals. I teach you all types of things. If you are interested in doing magic, I teach you how to do magic. I teach you the foundations of it. I teach you and give you different spells for love, for money, for cleansing, for reversing hexes. I teach you how to hex people, all that shit. That is a paid membership group that I do have. But all you have to do is just hit the link to my page and I can answer all your questions.
Okay. Well, we thank you so much and congratulations on your website and all your endeavors of what you're doing. And thank you for being vulnerable and open and sharing with us. I'm sure people are going to be hitting you up with more questions. And y'all remember, questions do cost time, and time is money. So
they do.
You know, so you guys,
I tell everybody, time is not free. Don't come to me asking for a free reading. Don't come to me asking for a free reading. I won't even answer your message. I won't even answer your message.
That part. So you guys make sure that you guys tune in. If you want to be interviewed, let me know. I love interviewing unique people that are open, like Miss Goddess Cena here. My name is Tina Wolf. Bookwithtina.com is my website. If you're in the DFW Metroplex area and you need massage, come get these hands on you. I'm telling you, get this healing going on. If you want a one-on-one intuitive reading, I got you. If you need crystals and stones, baby, let me rock your world because I got you. I got you. I got you. So make sure that you guys compliment at least 5 people a day, because you never know whose life you can change. You never know whose vibration you can raise up, and you never know what door of opportunity you can open by simply paying a compliment. I love you guys. Have an awesome and amazing day. Stay great. Mwah. Bye-bye.
Thank you.